What is up, YouTube?
Whoa, and a drop and a sub and everybody in the house tonight.
Thank you so much for everybody here chilling, joining with us on our nightly live stream here, My Cowboys Family. Of course, take a second, hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us on all social media at My Cowboys Family. Hop in the Discord, links down below in the description box. And yes, thank you to the subscriber there, William. Thank you, Brandon James Shea with the $1. Holler, officially kicking things off here on the official stream side.
The
of
late,
things, right?
what we'll call this, the late show tonight. This is for the West Coast and Hawaii faction of the fan base here, right? Part of the family.
Now, with that said, guys, of course, take a second to hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us on all social media at My Cowboys Family. Hop in the Discord, link for that's in the description box down below. And of course, as we get rolling here tonight, we do have some people to shout out, give the love, the appreciation to.
Yeah, you know it, guys. It is the people that run the boards here. Sponsor of the week, Cash App. It's the same person. It's Snug X, and you know why he's here.
Who knew?
Yeah, much love to the man, Snug X. And also to the person who controls the other side of the board here, Jason Renfro, 46 points on the Stream Boss. And currently the back-to-back sponsor, not sponsor, but gifting, I guess you could say, membership gifting champion. Much love to Jason Renfro. Done it for 2 weeks in a row, back-to-back. Before that, it was 3 months owned by Skeptical fans. So appreciate you guys this week. Jason Renfro, I mean, is he going to go for the three-peat? Skeptical fan currently is in first place with a 7-0 lead in the first quarter. So we'll see how that goes. Appreciate all of you guys that have gifted stuff, anything here. We also appreciate the super chats like Brandon James Shea with the $1 holler, and we also have Mr. Dwayne Broussard, the top dog, star level member with the
Pre-stream.
Pre-streaming it here. Go Cowboys. He also dropped a thanks to one of our earlier videos from today. We had multiple videos dropped. So appreciate you, Mr. Dwayne Broussard, the top dog. And as you can see here, Snug X controlling the boards right now. The Cash App leader currently, baby. Do you know who it is? It's a new face. It's still in the lead, though. His name is El Fuego. He's on fire. He's
bring
on
the
fire.
heat.
Yeah, he's on fire, guys. So,
Thank you, Fuego.
Appreciate you. And as I talked about a couple different ways of dropping the love here on this channel. Of course, Super Chat. You can jump in the membership, gifting memberships, the thanks button. There's 4 other ways of being in this thing and Cash App in this style. So
of course, you have the money sign, My Cowboys Family, for the Cash App, the Venmo at My-Cowboys-Family, your regular PayPal link, and last but not least, of course, the Streamlabs. That lets your comment show up on screen just like a Super Chat would.
And just in case you forgot, guys, we always shout out the final part of our thing here, the star level members. But star level members also get the nightly shout outs. And let's shout them out right now. Andy Post in the house. We got Mary
Alvarez?
Mary Alvarez. I'm sorry. Yes, Mary Alvarez in the house. We
of
also
course,
got
LC all the way from Australia.
Lincoln Kane in there. Yes.
Dwayne Broussard, the top dog himself.
Yes.
Jason Renfro, much love.
And Skeptical fan. Yeah.
Always staying skeptical.
Sorry, guys. I was reading another thing coming up on my screen, and I got a little sidetracked there. But appreciate you, Mary Alvarez, and the rest of the crew in the star level membership. Now, enough. Again, we truly appreciate everybody. That's why we keep this thing going. But now we got to move on to the news, info, and updates. But first, it's those nightly shout-outs. So let's open it up, baby. And who's in the house tonight ready to discuss some Cowboy football?
Shout out to Luke. Hello and hi. Thanks for stopping through. Orion Files. Hello. Asmodeus in the house. Rolando Rodriguez all the way from South Texas. Stoned Immaculate 2. Jason Renfro, much love.
Yeah.
The stream boss right now, 46 points.
And the membership back-to-back champ.
Yeah, Mari Roberts. I know, trust me. Allergies been going nuts over here, too, I have to admit.
Yeah, you talked about that last week, and it's actually been going on before that.
I know. So, Cactus G in the place to be. We have, of course, Dwayne Broussard, the top dog. Stephen White, hello and hi. Skeptical fan always. Staying skeptical.
Always.
Asmodeus representing. We have, who else is here? Let's see. Spoony Dog, what's up?
Spoony.
Thomas Garrett, the superior Garrett.
Of course.
Freedom First, who did manage to be first today, looks like. So,
yes.
That's a point of pride for him.
Another one. So, anyways, here on MCF, baby, tonight we're going to discuss. It's not even that big of a long stream, but you guys already seen the videos dropped earlier. You guys know what went down in practice today. But, we're gonna I guess, before we get kicked off here, any quick comments or thoughts by the chat before we get rolling?
Let me see here. Let's hear some real information on the Cowboys. No clickbait about Micah. Yes, guys. Definitely no clickbait going to be found over here.
You know what's funny? Like, I don't even know what the clickbait is right now for Micah Parsons. I know there's a Skip Bayless comment out there. I ain't even talking about it, about Dak Prescott, so silly. And then there's, I guess there's clickbait. I mean, I just know the facts. That's all I know. I don't look for, I want to know the truth. Me as a fan, this ain't no reporter. I want to find out the truth about the players. Not the hopes and the dreams. I want to know the realities.
Exactly.
That's what we do
really
here.
Going on?
That's what we do here in MCF on the nightly. That's why we want 6. And Jason Renfro wants a 3-peat possibly here with that dollar holler in the Cash App. Baby, what did he have to say with that little drop?
Ooh, he said, "Go Cowboys." Thank you so much, Jason. Again, appreciate you so much.
Yeah, did I shout him out on his latest Cash App drop? I don't think so.
I don't think so, no.
Yeah, because, yes, the man always on the Cash App board in one way, shape, form, or fashion. Second place right now, Jason Renfro on that side of things. So appreciate you, brother, and go Cowboys.
Always. Yes. So, but yeah, baby, I mean, if you're
ready to dive into it, let's dive into this thing. So, listen, you guys know the Tahoe, is that it? The Too High family, the family that took in Michael Orr in the Blindside movie.
Blindside
movie. Today they filed a claim that Michael Orr attempted a $15 million shakedown before his court filing. Yeah, so who knows what's going on? But look, they obviously used the kid. Look, I'm going to leave it at that. Let the courts decide. Now, I just want to bring it up since we did touch on it on the other day. Now, here's something for everybody to keep on the. If you have Roku in any shape, form, or fashion, I said that twice today.
Yeah, it's pronounced Tui.
Tui. Okay, Tui.
Thank you, Mari.
Too high. I said too high. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Yes, appreciate that. Who dropped that? Mari. Appreciate it. So there's a great show on Roku that's coming up. I think on August 25th, and it is basically cameras going inside locker rooms, or not inside the draft war rooms, for all access situation, and for 3 days. So that's already, I like it. And when I see Jerry Jones in the mix, and Deuce Vaughn and all these other picks we made, we're one of the teams that are featured in this special that's coming out. So you basically go inside all these, like 5 or 6 NFL teams. We're one of them, and it's a stream through Roku Original Films, and it's called NFL Draft. The pick is in, so keep it in mind. August 25th. Look for that.
Very cool.
We will definitely be watching that. Saints today, and this is again, we always do the NFL stuff, but this is always Cowboy connections. Like we just said with this show, it's going to be a third or fourth Dallas Cowboys, so I'm sure we'll be watching. But another former Cowboy, wide receiver James Washington, we cut him, of course, last year. It was a failed pick, and we've been complaining about him since. Not anything against him. He's not the replacement to Amari Cooper, right? So we know what happened last year here with the Cowboys, and he went to the Giants. It was, later on, I think, cut or not re-signed. And then now he's with the Saints. He got signed with the Saints. Now he's not with the Saints anymore. Today, the Saints released wide receiver James Washington. They signed running back Darrell Williams. James Washington, again, guys, the Cowboys, I think, was a stupid signing. Not on him. It's just that he was used as Amari Cooper's replacement, and that was never the case. You can't put that on him. He's not Amari Cooper's replacement. You got to know that. So that's a front office mistake there. He's been cut again now with the Saints, or now he's a free agent. Now, a guy we actually discussed yesterday as a free agent on the offensive line. I don't know if Mark Hovsepian's in the house, but I know he's always offensive line hungry. So I had mentioned Justin Pugh yesterday as a possible guy. I know he's still floating around. Former Giants, former Cardinal offensive lineman. He's 10 months removed from ACL surgery, so he should be ready to get back on that field anytime now. He has been cleared to do positional drills with former offensive tackle LaCharles Bentley. So Justin Pugh, who I think maybe he's the best guy left out there, and he's got an ACL tear he's still trying to get 100% back from. He's a former first-round pick, entering his 11th season. Again, the expectation is there's definitely some teams interested in him. Keep that in mind. So are we one of them? We'll see. He's been mostly, even though he's a tackle, he's been a left guard most of the time in his career. And he's been pretty solid, but he's 33 years old, coming off an injury. So again, you go with Justin Peters, or I'm not Jason. Is it Jason Peters? Yeah. You go for him again. Like, he's still out there running around. I mean, if you're gonna go old, why not go with a guy who already we know, right? And he helped us last year. You just can't. You got to stop your expectations that he's gonna be some superstar.
Situations, then you're right. I would probably go with Peters unless there's some other factor that we obviously don't know about that would make him less of a viable option.
Exactly. I agree 100%. And, I want to know, I wish I know what the thinking is, what the Cowboys' plan is, if this array of offensive linemen are not making the cut in a realistic way. I want to know what happens in that situation. Anyways,
I mean, the Cowboys seem to be implying that the plan is to roll with them anyway. So we're really hoping they do have a plan B to that.
I've heard the front office. They've kind of insinuated that you never know at the cut down day what happens. That may just be fool's gold. But the point is, if there is a logical choice out there as a guard, and we have a big drop off. I mean, we know there is, but will they see it that way? We hope they see it that way. If they do, that might be a chance for them to make a move then. Other than that, I don't see it happening. I see them sticking with our guys, as the Joneses like to say. So anyways, look, a quick last little detour here before we get to the Cowboys. Browns quarterback, Deshaun Watson, formerly of Eastside Harold's favorite quarterback from Houston. But the Browns, of course, he's playing there now, threw 3 interceptions in their scrimmage and practice against the Eagles. Not just to 3 different guys, to safety, to their safety, Reed Blankenship, during their joint practices. So I'm just trying to say, imagine if that was Dak Prescott doing that. Imagine, I'm just saying, like, we talk about Deshaun Watson and his, pretty much ranked higher than Dak in every single person's thought process there, but yet he threw 3 interceptions. It's cool. Dak throws interceptions in practice. So we're talking about 3 interceptions in practice of the same person. They'll say that, Dak was owned. Dak was just, no one's saying nothing much about this situation. It's a whole different world when you compare Deshaun Watson and Dak Prescott, because one's the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. And for some reason, a lot of haters more than...
The other one's just a quarterback.
The other one was molesting women. I'm just saying, he's still appreciated more than Dak Prescott. Isn't that something? Even by our own fan base. That's a sick shit right there. Anyways, I'll move on. I just thought I'd like to touch on some NFL news always relative to our Dallas Cowboys. You know it. You know me. I always start trouble. I want to do the Super Bowl shuffle, Cowboy style. So, anyways, I'll stop before I get us. I'll get us. What is it? Strike for copyright. Anyways, listen. Let me move it to our head coach, the Big Bubble, Mike McCarthy. He spoke again, River Ridge Complex, Oxnard, California. I always like to say that, make sure that we have Brandon James Shea shouting him out once again. He had that in-stream kickoff dollar holler. He dropped another 5 on it.
Woo.
Much love to Brandon James Shea.
And he said Cowboys breaking. Micah Parsons out of practice with a leg injury. Yep,
we're going to discuss that. Don't worry, Brandon. It's not going to be that big. If it was a big deal, trust me, it would be front and center on your screen and in the title. We don't BS it.
Yeah, so kind of a bit of a spoiler alert. This is the injury I told Mr. MCF behind the scenes. I'm like, this is what I like to call a classic MCW injury. Because Micah did not break anything, right? He didn't sprain anything. Like, nothing needed any kind of serious medical attention or anything like that. But through a series of unfortunate events and just injury. Natural everyday happenstance, right? He just happened to get, cleated in the leg and the meaty fleshy part, and, who knows? Maybe it took a bit of chunk of skin. Maybe it's just, a big old bruise on his leg. The point is, it's going to hurt. It's not going to feel great.
I'm bouncing up and down. Go ahead.
and like I said, this is what I call a classic MCW injury.
Yes.
So
yeah, Brandon, we're gonna dive deeper into this. No pun intended there on his injury, but we're gonna dive deeper into this and discuss it. But first, before we had the injury, we had a quick little discussion here with Mike McCarthy, and he spoke, opening the press conference by addressing the Zack Martin news. He said that when they found out in the offensive staff meeting about the Zack Martin coming back, getting the contract redone. This is what McCarthy said, quote, "When we got the news in the offensive staff meeting room, the whole entire room erupted. A lot of high fives and hugs all day and all night yesterday once he got in with us. Yeah, I think it showed what he means to us and what he means to our football team, and I know especially to the offense. But it is a business, This is part of our industry. We're about connecting, and we need to do what we need to do to win, and he's a big part of that." McCarthy also said that the young players specifically were speaking out about the fact that they missed his leadership with, not being there and now being there, a good guiding piece for the younger guys. And also he said Zack Martin for practice. Are we thinking, next week maybe he comes back to hit? He'll be like on the sideline a little bit today. No, Zack Martin will get through a ramp-up phase before doing some contact drills next week. Now, I did say that. Contact next week, but I really didn't think he'd be on that field with the starting 5 he was. You'll see a little bit of that later. But, baby, why was he, Mr. Zack Martin, with the starting 5 day 1 in pads? I'll explain. Let me give you a little insight to something here. first and foremost, let me show you what he was doing. Again, no offense to Zeke, but this guy right here was in Cabo, all right, and he was. Let me take them away here, and I'll take myself away because he was right here at offensive line masterminds, guys, with Duke Manyweather, all right, and it helped Zack Martin maintain his form as the best guard on the planet. And you see, everything you're seeing here was done with the masterminds group there and Duke Manyweather. This is very important, guys. Duke Manyweather made sure Zack Martin was in optimal condition during his almost 3 weeks, right, holding out from training camp. Zack Martin had an upper body workout scheduled for Tuesday at 9 a.m. in Frisco. All right? Mm-hmm. Didn't have to take it. It was canceled, guys, because of the training he did. He's already way above and past that. He prepared for the situation while training at the Sports Academy Performance Facility located at the Star across the street from the Cowboys complex there. And other than Zack Martin himself, no one has a better understanding of the process to get him there than Duke Manyweather, the offensive line specialist, offensive line masterminds owner of what you're seeing here, this gym. He said in a phone interview, this was literally yesterday, guys, that Zack Martin trained 5 to 6 times a week, including Sundays and Monday mornings. So Zack Martin's out there busting ass. I'm just saying, guys. So to me, again, when you look at this situation, there's a lot of, when you look at this whole situation, again, example, he was talking about, I think you have some of the examples actually, but a lot of movements form the center of Manyweather's kind of training philosophy, moving around, twisting. You're seeing some of the stuff he's doing here, constant moving. There's no perfect replacement for being on the football field in pads, right? Like he was today, though, with teammates. But the design.
Something's up with the stream.
Oh, is it? Are we good? I think we're good, right? Okay, baby. I don't know. You said we lost our.
Yeah. I mean, we're good now. Yeah. Okay. So we're good now. Yeah. It buffered a second for me on my side too. It was a little weird.
Everyone kind of got that.
That's how I was like, yeah. Okay. So, but yes, thankfully we are back. Consider that a glitch in the matrix or something. I don't know.
So I'll just go back a second here. Just there's a lot of movement stuff with Manyweather. I guess I'll pause for a second. I guess the man Jason Renfro, another 119 on top of the pack here.
He said, "Go Cowboys!"
Hell yeah, Jason Renfro. By the way, I gotta get him on the board here. He didn't drop yesterday, so let me add him on the board here. Just really quickly though, I just wanted to finish saying that. And by the way, thank you again, Mr. Jason Renfro. On there, he's powering up a little bit. 43 points on the stream, boss. But being on the field, there's no replacing that. Like I said, in pads, like he was today. But you're seeing what he's doing here. A lot of twisting movements, a lot of this kind of training that keeps him ready to go in these 3 weeks he was out. So a lot. Again, you're going to hear some examples from Manyweather talking about some certain single leg exercises, and you're going to see the man Jason Renfro gifting a membership to Raul. Congratulations, Raul, and Jason Renfro gifting one of those navy blue crews right there. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. Of course, and congrats, Raul. Drop him if you got him, guys.
I'm sorry. I'm just making sure.
That's all right. I'm trying to drop him because I got him.
By the way, guys, I did add. There's a total of 3 anti-Seattle Seahawk emojis. You can drop them. You'll see them. Sea chickens. There's a couple other ones in there. You'll see. Have fun with them. Especially if a Seattle Seahawk comes here on game day or throughout the week. You know what to do. Drop them if you got them. So I'll fix Jason, of course, on that board in a minute. And again, he's now got 1 point on that on the gifting membership board as well. But Manyweather talked about some leg exercises. Again, these things that he was doing was basically the best thing, simulating the little nuances of offensive line play on the field. So all this movement, all these drills, this was the whole thing, and it kept him there because he didn't have to even take this test, guys. He worked at his own game basically with the Cowboys, rejoining, which is maybe the best roster we've had with Zack Martin since he's been here, like front to back, right? Possibly. So the things that was focused on here was hip mobility, core strength, and overall balance. So it was great to know, guys, that he didn't have to take they canceled this test that he was supposed to take today because he was already in tip-top shape. So
That's great.
Duke Manyweather spoke about the details of this, and so break it down, baby. What did Duke say in this interview?
So Duke Manyweather said he's ready, and he was like laughing, like very happy, very relaxed when he said this, saying he's ready. That's for sure. I'm confident because he really hasn't missed a beat in terms of total volume of work. His whole mindset was to work. It wasn't the holdout. It wasn't anything else. He was focused and deliberate on getting better. He was kind of obsessive about getting better and wanting to be the best version of himself. I think that's the big message that needs to be out there. The entire team was centered on his game and what was next in terms of elevating his game to the next level. How that translates into football a lot of times is just being able to load the front door in a pass set. When we're working similar joint angles and things that you see on the field, it carries over. So, and Manyweather also said you've got the best player in the world at his position. There's no arguing that. Right now, he's the best guard on the planet.
Damn
With
right.
that, his intent every single day was like, all right, what do I have to do to get better? All right, what's the area of focus here? His primary goal was to make sure he could hit the ground running whenever the time came.
And that's exactly what happened, right? I mean,
You cannot miss less of a beat than Zack Martin, who, outside of a few little blips where you can clearly see that, these next few days of working a few things out are definitely going to do Zack Martin's body good.
Yeah, we'll look at that in a little bit, in the video from today. But yeah, you can see he was a little out of it. He's learning the playbook, but next week he's going to start hitting. By next week he'll know the playbook, so we'll be fine.
Yeah, you definitely get the impression that it won't take long to get that worked
But keeping himself in shape, that's the key here. The fact that he was able to do that and jump back on the field. Yes, he's got to know the playbook. He's got to kind of get used to the whole mix of actually being on the field. You can't replace that. But again, someone like Zack Martin, that's the IQ part. That's going to come in a couple of days, just with like muscle memory, like riding a bike. This part here, it was really more important to make sure he's athletically able to get on that field right away and not really miss a beat. That was more important to make sure he has basically he's going to have 2 weeks of hitting. He's going to have full 3 weeks on the field, but 2 weeks of hitting starting next week. And that's when, he's not warming up for this or that. He's warming up for week 1 against the Giants on Sunday Night Football, September 10th. So that's what this is about. So good breakdown, baby. I learned something there. Is that everything from
yeah, that was pretty much it from Manyweather, at least, directly.
Now, I will say this when it comes to, again, I know we have more Mike McCarthy here, but when it comes to Zack Martin, I'm going to say one last thing. And you see here you don't see it in this picture. Actually, there's no picture. I have the picture on my side, but there's a photograph I seen, and no one's made a mention of this. I don't know if it's a big deal, but you see his right ankle is taped up all the way up to over his. I would say up to his ankle.
And I have to admit, it is just very bizarre considering we haven't heard anything about him being banged up in any way. McCarthy spoke, he had the chance to say it, he didn't say it then. We're not hearing anything from Zack Martin himself. So is it just regular normal aches and pains and bumps and bruises, being extra cautious, or is it a little something more?
Yeah, honestly, it's something that he always kind of does or doesn't. Is that something he always has done? Maybe it's not a big deal because he always has that right ankle always taped up. Don't know. Here, I don't see any issues while he's working out. So look, the point is just something to keep an eye on from your boy MCF. Obviously, I think it's a great situation. He's back with the Cowboys. I know Steven disagrees, but outside of Stephen White in the chat saying cap, everybody else kind of agrees. This guy is I'm not a future Hall of Famer, but obviously he's still at the top of his game. So that's the main thing here. So any quick comments on this? Maybe as I kind of shift gears here to the rest of McCarthy's thoughts.
Oh, Stephen White, you cracked me up. He said he's a month behind terrorists. His goal was to hold up the Cowboys for personal gain. Hey, he learned from the best, Jerry Jones. He straight up gives Jerry credit for his newly acquired business savvy. Right? So yeah.
Stay tuned, Stephen. You don't want to miss that part. So,
so let me see here. Dumpster Cowboy said sometimes player hold out to skip OTAs. I think that was part of Martin's plan.
Yeah, too. You don't want to do the whole 4-5 weeks of it. You want to do the 3. You get 1 acclimation and then the other 2 is hitting. You get 2 weeks instead of 4.5. So that could be part of it. Less wear and tear.
So let me see. Haley 94 said I feel a little sorry for that little guy in the video trying to block Zach. I only feel sorry because in the end he's a Cowboy. Otherwise, show no mercy.
Again, Zach wasn't on the field blocking anybody today, but if you're talking about that little machine over there, I don't know. Look, Zack Martin, he was keeping in football shape, offensive guard shape, and NFL offensive guard shape, and I'm pretty sure he's going to pick up right where he left off. So, but again, the good thing is, number one, they're not going to rush Zack Martin back in there, and the good thing is, but he's also athletically ready to get on that field immediately with pads and everything, which you'll see in the video, him walking out there with Tyron Smith as they entered the football venue. Now, Mike McCarthy had a couple more injury updates.
Yeah.
Ronald Jones, groin injury, will be limited at practice, and that's at the very best, according to McCarthy. And, we didn't see much of Ronald Jones in practice at all. So, sounds like it's going to be a very difficult situation for him to come back and play against Seattle on Saturday. I don't see him doing it. So, it looks like more snaps for the running backs. Rico Dowdle, Malik Davis, Deuce Vaughn, and Tyler Lipke, which needs it. Yes. Welcome to the family. Appreciate you. And go Cowboys. Yeah, we're going to be looking at those 4 running backs this week. Again, the same 4, right? Deuce Vaughn, Rico Dowdle, Malik Davis, and Tyler Lipke, number 43. To me, this week he would have been cut if he doesn't do anything this week, or the Cowboys don't use him in the way that maybe accentuates his best skill set. Then I think that he may get, he's going to be one of the guys going to be cut if he does not show something. So Lipke's guy, he's going to have to show something this week. Now, so that's Ronald Jones' situation. You got Chuma Edoga. We didn't really hear much about that. Remember, guys, Chuma Edoga got injured last week, an injury with his leg. According to McCarthy, he's going to be limited this week in practice. Limited, which is actually pretty good. McCarthy, kind of implied that we avoided something major with Chuma Edoga. So whether or not the Cowboys found them to be one of our strengths in the backup spots when it comes to the depth of our offensive line, guard or tackle, Chuma Edoga can do that. I don't know if he can do it well, but he was getting burned all the time by Micah Parsons. But according to some people, he was kind of getting better, and he wasn't doing that. That was not being done to him by anybody else. So Chuma, hopefully he comes back. At least the thing is that he's not gone for months. He's gone for a week or 2 at best. Yeah. He's going to probably play a little bit, get in there some walkthroughs this week. So great sign for Chuma Edoga back on the field. By the way, a guy we I don't want to say forgot, but Jordan Lewis, the J-Lu-2s. He's, again, no setbacks according to McCarthy when it comes to his Lisfranc injury in his foot. He began the Cowboys training camp on the PUP list, the physically unable to perform list. He's still on there, of course, right now. But according to Jordan Lewis himself, he's basically implied that he's able to, quote, do everything. Routes, cuts, speed runs, and he's ramping up his stamina right now. So do not be, he's getting close to his return for Jordan Lewis, it sounds like. So, when he's cleared medically, he's going to go off that PUP list and back on the 90-man roster, fighting it out for the 53. Which again, he's right now I would say our 4th cornerback, which is fantastic. And in the NFL, guys, this from last year, you need 4 or more reliable cornerbacks because once that injury hits, now you got Nashawn Wright and not just him, but you got Nashawn Wright and and who was it last year that was in there? Kelvin Joseph, and they were crapping the bed. So, yeah. You want to keep your cornerbacks. I know some people say trade Jordan Lewis, do this. No,
Edward said it. I like Jordan Lewis. So
yeah, he's solid. One of the best slot nickel corners. It doesn't
make sense to move on from him. It's not like we're paying him like bucket loads of millions of dollars.
We can save like $2.5-3 million on him. So it's a chunk of change.
But we're thankfully not in a position where we have to be that penny pinching.
$20+ million in the salary, under the cap. So
and I do think that peace of mind of having him there as a depth piece is worth it.
Because remember, after him, who do you really have, right? You're going back to Nashawn Wright, Kelvin Joseph. Then you got to start using safeties like Mukuamu. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not saying you can't survive like that, but do you want to survive like that? I'd rather have Jordan Lewis in the mix. And again, Deron Bland, if one of the outside guys go down, knock on wood, it doesn't happen, Trayvon or Stephon Gilmore, but if one of them go down, Deron Bland plays on the outside. So we can do that, and Kelvin Joseph comes in the slot, in the nickel cornerback spot. So you definitely keep Jordan Lewis this year. You don't F around with that situation, in my opinion. So, again, Mike McCarthy also kind of spoke about Deuce Vaughn as he was closing his press conference. And he said, quote, basically they said, how do you feel about him? Mike McCarthy said, quote, he looked the way he played at Kansas State. Nothing is too big for him. So obviously, meeting that situation and showing like he did. Again, I said this to people again. Playing against third stringers, it's like playing back in college again. So I thought he was going to do very well, and he'll probably do well again in preseason. In the regular season, it's going to be a little more difficult, but he's going to already have the confidence. And I think that he's going to have I guess you could say he's going to have some success if we use him right. So when you look at McCarthy's thoughts on our old running back, Ezekiel Elliott, McCarthy was happy to see Zeke in New England now. He said that again, but he's not excited about playing Ezekiel Elliott on October 1st. Mike McCarthy said, quote, Zeke will do great up there. Play style alone, I think he's a really good fit for how they like to play. But then they asked Mike McCarthy, because we played on week 4. He said, you're looking forward to that? It's going to be more fun. He started laughing. He said, I'm not looking forward to watching him run against us. That's for sure. So not loving the fact that we got to play Zeke, was McCarthy's thoughts on that. So just real quick on Zeke. The plan for him right now is to fly to New England. He landed this morning, and then he made the signing official today, earlier today for Ezekiel Elliott. And then he went back to Green Bay, where the Patriots and Packers will have joint practices tomorrow, and he'll probably be in the practice tomorrow. And again, guys, Patriots and Packers will have their little. Washington had their fight today, I think, against was it Carolina? I don't know who. Baltimore Ravens and Washington. They played and they were fighting today. So we'll see. Patriots and Packers joint practice tomorrow, and Ezekiel Elliott should be there on the field. But we're not Zeke fans. We're Cowboy fans. So as far as the Patriots are concerned with Zeke, they're gonna Mac Jones is gonna love the Zeke blitz pickup. That's one of Zeke's things he does very well. Much love to Roger Cardenas.
Thank you so much for summing it up. Appreciate you, of course.
Welcome to the family here at MCF. So Zeke was in the NFL since 2016. He has 516 pass blocks, over 100 more than any other running back in that time span. The closest person, 446 from Giovanni Bernard. He's second. By the way, one last note that does relate to Ezekiel Elliott and the Cowboys. Finishes his career with 68 rushing touchdowns in Dallas, trailing only Emmitt Smith and Tony Dorsett. Tony Dorsett had 72, 4 away from tying him, or 5 from passing him. And, of course, the great Emmitt Smith, 153. You're not going to catch him. So Zeke turns out to be third best touchdown scorer on our team behind Tony Dorsett, and Emmitt. Now, as far as practice is concerned, guys, and let's get right to it here. I mean, there's no video of it, and I'm just going to plop them on the screen there. Our best player on our team, I would say, Micah Parsons. And there was an injury that went down today on the field. I wouldn't, at first I was like, what the hell is going to happen here? What's going on? And Micah Parsons left the practice with a lower leg injury. And it got taped up. And he never returned. Now you'll see it in the video when I play it, when I play the whole day recap. But just want to say, guys, he left with that lower leg injury, got it taped up. You could see it was bandaged up on his, I think it was his left leg. And again, he ended up missing the last 11 plays of the team drills. And he was,
at least he made it through most of the day.
Yeah, he did it through most. 11, his number there. But he was limping, afterwards at the practice there, and after practice, and he was walking off the field. He was limping. So that's something to kind of watch on Mr. Micah Parsons. His lower left leg had a wrap, and according to Micah, who's kind of in passing there, spoke about this, and he said he would get it checked out. But he also said that, he's not worried about it. He said that he got kicked in the leg. And again, guys, it sounds like it was an offensive lineman. But Micah Parsons got kicked in the leg, and he said he's going to get it obviously looked at. But it was an accident, according to him. And I know some people that I think Patrick Walker said he won't release the name because he doesn't want that person to get a lot of hate. So I'm feeling it's like someone like Josh Ball.
No,
or something.
actually, Scorpio said it a few times here in the chat. He said that if you watch really carefully, you can actually see it was Tyron Smith apparently. And again, remember, there was no malicious intent. It's just accidental football, whatever. But
so
Tyron also did not come around to play.
Feels like he got cleated. Yeah.
I believe Scorpio. I'm 100% sure that that's what he saw. But for me, at least, it was really hard to, make out. So
either whoever it was, we know it's accidental, even if it was a guy you don't like or a guy you love. It doesn't matter. It was accidental, but it matters to me to not have Micah Parsons injured. Now, look, let's break it down with the facts, right? Micah Parsons did not go into the medical tent. That's sign number one. That's fantastic, right? If someone goes to the medical tent, saying they usually got to get some x-rays or some other stuff. So they shut him down. That's all they did. Was after he got this little, again, whatever it was. He got cleated, possibly. He got kicked, cleated. He's got a contusion, a bruise. That's all it is. But, it's still something that nags. It's a nagging situation, in my opinion, So can it linger? I mean, it could bother him. I don't know if it's going to linger in the way that you think of like a soft tissue injury. But again, I would still keep him out of. I want to know if you guys agree. I want to know if you agree, but I would keep him out of contact drills, like team drills. I would not put Micah Parsons in anymore in the team drills.
Is there a way to chain him to the bench? We should do that if it's legal.
I don't mind him doing the work in the mornings. I don't mind him doing the drills. I don't mind doing some of the one-on-one stuff. I mind him doing team drills where he's going there just tearing shit up. Listen, guys, I'm going to give you a little insight. He had like 2 to 3 sacks if you were counting sacks in training camp. He had 2 or 3 sacks today. So he's just going too hard right now. It's great to challenge the offense. But damn, I don't know. Give some other guys some snaps, some reps. I don't know what to say. So, look, here's the deal. Parsons getting a leg checked out. Good news. Check. He was not taken to the tent. Check. It's all good news there. He got kicked. That's good news. Check. The Cowboys. Listen. He also implied, Micah Parsons, that if it was serious, the Cowboys would not have left them there, staying on the practice field, just walking around for the remainder of practice. It was a serious injury. He had a cut. You're bleeding. It's football. It happens. You get cleated. You get kicked. Whatever. So if it was something serious, they would have already checked them out. They would have checked them out in the back. If it was something serious, they would have taken them into the tent or off the field. So Micah Parsons said, quote, "It's just something that happened to me. It's football." And when he was asked if he was worried about it, he said, quote, "Well, no, I'm not worried about it." That's a quote from him, guys. Now, Micah Parsons also said, "I'm fine." He said that, again, a person, this is the last thing we heard from him. This is the last fact we have. A person with knowledge of the situation said Micah Parsons' left leg injury, kick, whatever, bruise, is, quote, fine. That's all I got to hear. Listen, I'm glad he's fine. Still, hold him out. I don't know what you think, baby. What do you think about Micah Parsons? Should we hold him out?
I mean, I think I said it earlier, but yes, please, let's just chain him to the bench. And we were kind of joking a few days ago, too, just saying that it would almost be unfair to other teams to play Micah in a preseason game because of just how hard he would go against them. It almost feels like a crime, right? So
save him for week 1.
Yeah, I don't want to say the good news is, but the good news, at least in this situation, is that, yes, it is just kind of a surface injury, right? It's not any long-term damage. Nothing's torn, nothing's broken, nothing's whatever. But, hopefully it does, fingers crossed, make Micah take it a little bit easier with some of this camp stuff.
The coaches have to step in. Because if the coaches don't step
Micah
in,
doing that on his own.
If the coaches don't step in, then he ain't going to stop. He's going to keep going. He's going to go his full blast. I can't blame him, but you don't want to take it easy in practice and get hurt or something, so knock on wood. But I'm just saying, I think that with Micah Parsons, you just let him do the drills and let some other guys get some snaps, A couple extra snaps in there.
So, Jones and Cowboys said, "We don't have depth except as secondary and ends. This is a concern as the year goes on."
We don't have depth where? I'm sorry?
On the O-line, I'm guessing?
Oh, yeah, I know. Oh, I know that. But I said this the other day. I'm going to say it real quick right now. Because of Mike McCarthy's quick passing scheme, getting the ball out in under 2.5 seconds. Because of that, he's already preparing the team when one of the offensive linemen go down. And yes, Tyron Smith probably the first one on that list. So when one of them go down, we're going to have a lesser weak link. Yes, we are. Can they still hold the line with the other 4 fantastic starters? Can they hold that line for the 2.5 seconds at most needed? I'd say it's not going to lose much of a beat there, in my opinion, because they got to get the ball out fast. So that's my 2 cents. I mean, that's what I'm guessing McCarthy is doing. And the best case scenario is after the cuts, Cowboys then go out there and say, we got to get some depth, which they should do, and let's sign someone out there. But I think anyone that's out there right now, we probably got Matt Farniok, Matt Waletzko, Chuma Edoga if he's back. These guys are all probably better than the guys that are out there right now. So it's about who are the cuts. And if there's somebody that sticks out, then you grab them if you have concern at depth. We all would. Every single Cowboy fan would do that. Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones are the only ones that have to be the ones that believe that. And right now they don't. at this moment.
So, let me see here real quick. Party with the Stars said they got to go hard in practice if not, they're not going to see the field in preseason. And again, I completely understand that. I am not saying let's not practice hard. But like I said, Micah Parsons has no chill. He doesn't know the meaning
Different kind of player.
Hold it back, pull it back a little bit, right? It's either you're giving nothing or you're giving it all. So, that's why I said it's almost for Micah's own good that we're trying to control him and keep him from hurting himself any more than maybe he already has. Yeah. So, that's it. That's all. I just wanted to throw that in there.
Good. So, as we're done with there, Micah Parsons there, let's finish up with what went down today at practice. Because, again, a lot of stuff we're talking about is from this. You'll see at the end of this video, you'll see Micah Parsons, the photo of him wrapped up there on his left leg. And, again, it's a cut. That's a kick, a bruise, whatever. It's not anything major. Still, we all say, take it easy, Micah. Now, let's look at this. First and foremost, guys, people say the Cowboys are overhyped. Every year we're overhyped. The Cowboys went over their expected win totals the last 2 years in a row. Keep that in mind. Speaking of guys going to help us with that win total, Tyron Smith, but specifically number 70 here, Zack Martin, back on the field in pads with his little protective helmet. And Kevin Costner was also there, by the way. He headed to midfield to watch this training camp practice in Oxnard. Now, that's Kevin Costner, the movie actor. Always Jamie Foxx was there in the past and others. Always got some famous people. Here's Zack Martin's mistake. Watch this. He runs into Biotish right there. He doesn't turn. He's supposed to turn him. He stood in Biotish's way there. So you'll see that, I think, fixed in time. Here's another play with Zack Martin, number 70. And again, you see him this time going the right way. So, as you see the running backs catching drill here, Deuce Vaughn and the others. I just wanted to, kind of go up and talk about that when it comes to these first set of drills warming up for today's practice. As you see the running backs catching it. Tyler Lipke, number 43, got to do his thing. If he wants to, he just almost fell there. So now you're seeing some one-on-one battles. Cooper Rush behind there a little bit. And interception by Deron Bland as he tried to connect with Tolbert here. Dak goes with a great pattern there to Tolbert. Tolbert with a great move. Touchdown against the same matchup there against Bland. Here you're seeing, who is that right there burning him? I just missed that. I'm sorry. That was Tyron Johnson. I think this is number 7, Trayvon Diggs, breaking up the play with Jalen Brooks, 7th-round pick. So now you're seeing the mojo moments here, guys. Yes, believe it or not, Brandon Aubrey, our kicker, went 7 for 8 today in field goal attempts to start practice. This is just a warm-up, right? This was the mojo moments you're seeing now, though. His longest in the warm-up was about 40 yards. That is it. So, and again, the one miss he had, when it was a narrow miss. So he's hit from 40 and up, he's making them all, it seems like. Now you're seeing he was also 2 for 2 from extra point distance, the 37 to 35-yard line. But the mojo moment you're seeing here, it included Brandon Aubrey getting more work. He went 4 for 4. You're seeing him 3 out of the 4 right now on your screen. So Brandon Aubrey looking better. His longest was about 45 yards, at least a little better. Very strong day for Brandon Aubrey. He's made 11 out of 12 field goal attempts in this day here. And you combine the pre-stuff and the mojo moments, he missed one in his pre-games kicks. Great job by Aubrey, but I'm still not sold kicking these 35-yarders and thinking we're happy there. Now there's Dak. Nowhere to go for Dak. Pulled it back. The defense is out there and it's hungry. So, we'll talk about this and then we'll get into into some other stuff here. Oh, there's a great play by Overshown making that tackle there on Schoonmaker. And as you're seeing some more routes being run here, some more plays here. Nice touchdown there by Tyron Johnson. Back to the kicks real quick. I want to say about the kicks for a second. The Cowboys practice a, quote, thunder field goal, which is a no timeout sprint on the field type scenario. Brandon Aubrey got that kind of game work in this practice. He made the 39-yarder he made with no problem. So here we go again. Now, I think that's Dak there hitting Brandon Cooks. Covered by a LVE. That's going to be a win for Brandon Cooks every single time. So here you're seeing, again, another attempt here. I can't even see it, guys. I'm sorry. That's a great catch by Brandon. By Brooks there, Jalen Brooks. Now here you're seeing some movement. Dennis Houston, number 17, gets open. Nobody covers. That's a blown coverage by the backups. I think the backups. So there's a great catch, great pass by Mr. Michael Gallup beating Trayvon Diggs. And here, the play of the day, Jalen Tolbert the best catch, obviously the back of the end zone. You see him leaping high for this catch here, for this touchdown against Eric Scott Jr. Will Greer pass. But it's the footwork there. It's the catch and the footwork to keep the feet in bounds. Fantastic play of the day. No diggity, no doubt. And that wasn't only the thing he did. That was the only thing he did there as Tolbert running the ball, I think, here. You're seeing Tolbert. Turpin is running the ball. Tolbert did great. Sure hands. A lot of good catches. Separation. Team drill portions. Great. He did great on one-on-ones. But there's little man Deuce Vaughn. Same play here. You're seeing him take it to the outside and just getting chunk yards. 20 yards and more. Possibly, right? He probably got knocked out of bounds. But nonetheless, looking very efficient there for Mr. Deuce Vaughn. Love seeing what he was doing out there. And look at this. This is another, again, this didn't work too well because our defense is solid. But I like this pitch out. Getting it out to him, getting him in space. Smart move. You're going to get him at least 3-4 yards, possibly almost every time if they're even off one guy. And when you're seeing Deuce Vaughn, you're seeing these blocks just eating up our defense, and what a move there. Just again, you're seeing the trouble he's going to cause to the secondary. Another angle. Look at this block down by Tyron Smith just ate up Damone Clark there. I mean, boom, disappearing him. And then, when you do that, I mean, you're going to have trouble stopping Deuce Vaughn or seeing Deuce Vaughn. He just popped out of nowhere, and here, same thing. Tony Pollard, though, on the goal line, touchdown. So you're seeing what the Cowboys are doing. You're seeing what the defense is doing. With Micah Parsons being held out for those last 11 plays, you see his left leg there bandaged up. It looks like it was probably scraped, kicked, bruised, whatever it was. He looks like he's going to be okay. That's the video wrap-up there on that side of things. But just kind of go over a couple little pointers here before I finish up. Tyron Johnson, again, I talked about him earlier, number 80. He caught a touchdown pass. He also caught a 2-point conversion from Cooper Rush. He did well in that game, too, in the fourth quarter. One of the standout receivers, I would say, in the fourth quarter. So he's definitely added something to his game. He's trying to sneak into this practice squad somehow. By the way, maybe I don't know if you knew this, but towards the end of the practice, I think, a fan ran out on the field, and they had to tackle and arrest him.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So
fun time.
Probably an Eagle fan trying to get more content. Anyways, the pass, again, Tolbert, Michael Gallup, you saw him make that catch. Brandon Cooks, a couple catches. They all look very good today. CD caught like one pass, or two passes. It was not a big day for CD today. But the pass rush looked fantastic. After being off a couple days, they're coming back. They were off not practicing. They're back, and they're like same intensity. That's great to see there. Secondary, the defensive coverage, defensive backs, corners, and safeties, they dominated. You see Trayvon Diggs earlier knocking down a pass on the red zone one-on-ones. It was all defense there, secondary. Marcus Lawrence was extra active today in the pass rush. He had a couple of sacks, if I'm not mistaken, out there. Deuce Vaughn, like I said, saw more reps with the starting team. So he was there with Dak and the whole entire starters. So, he's going to be a little bit better out there when he has better blockers out there. Overshown on defense. You see here the one-on-one matchups dominated. Bland had an interception. Diggs has a multiple pass breakups. But Overshown was all over the field. And after the mojo moment, you'll see Schoonmaker make the catch, and Overshown blows it up. So Overshown had an excellent read on a tight end screen to Schoonmaker. And, just to me, he has that acceleration, that burst from number 35, that he's going to earn himself some snaps, like 10 snaps, 15 snaps possibly in a game eventually this season for Dan Quinn's defense. So keep an eye on that. Now, Leighton Vander Esch was blitzing from the outside today, a lot more than normal, which is interesting to see. Like, why would he be blitzing? Well, is there something going on with the Dan Quinn mindset of maybe using him as an edge rusher more? He had 2 would-have-been sacks for LVE today, blitzing and rushing off the edge. He's looking a lot smoother, Leighton Vander Esch, playing out wide and starting to kind of have some counters. With his initial burst is stopped, and he's able to have some pass rushing moves. So interesting, Leighton Vander Esch starting to kind of get into the pass rush mode of attacking forward and sacking, pressuring. So you can't just key on Micah every single time. You understand? Micah will drop back in coverage, and LV will get you. So that's what Dan Quinn's trying to establish here. A lot of different, interesting, versatile situations. So, again, before Micah left practice, by the way, he was a difficult situation. He was very hard to contain. Once again, no surprise, right? But a couple of times, him and DeMarcus Lawrence lined up on the same side, and they broke the pocket. They broke the pocket down, and they had to stop the play. Unofficially, Micah had at least 2 sacks, probably 3. And DeMarcus Lawrence probably had 2 himself. We were just, again, not great for our offensive line. That's why when Zack Martin comes back with the pads, I guarantee you those numbers will go down.
I'm sure.
But not much down because you got Micah, and he's crazy out there. So hopefully there'll be no Micah. And he'll just hold out and just, not hold out, but, just take it easy at practice, and they don't have to play him on the team drills portion, I hope. One-on-ones, all the other stuff, fine. Now, just before we get to the kind of final note here, baby, that you have actually a couple thoughts from the offensive line situation. We talk about that a lot. Let me show you guys this right here. This is the newest depth chart. All right, just released again for the Seattle Seahawks game. If you realize something weird here, it's exactly the same as last week. That's the biggest take from this thing. Nothing's changed yet. Everybody's still the same rank. Peyton Hendershot hasn't been jumped by John Stevens. But, Cowboys are moving towards a second preseason game next week. Or, I'm sorry, on Saturday, this weekend. And, this is very unofficial. Please keep that in mind. It's just general. It's just not really making many moves. They're not going to tell you really what's going on unless something major happens, which hopefully, knock on wood, it just stays the same until the cut day, and then we'll get the real depth chart after that. No new changes from the first one, from the first official one last week, and there doesn't have to be any changes. Let's be honest, guys. One preseason game in, you're still evaluating all your players. There's no cut down days. You're trying to see the entire puzzle right now. This was the beginning of the puzzle, and we'll see what happens. When it comes to a close on August 29th, I'm pretty sure, is the cut down data from 90 players to 53. We'll work on getting the other guys back in the practice squad in 24 hours after that on the 30th. But outside of that, you got to pick those 53. You got to pick them wisely. So now some of those guys trying to make the team, like an offensive line, Austin Richards spoke. I know we have our ballers up there also speaking, like Terrence Steele back from the injury. But we also got up there Mr. Zack Martin, who was the main man today at the podium. So as I open this up for you, baby, and we'll pop up Mr. Zack Martin here. I'll put his holdout video.
Why not? Up on the screen. But yes, Zack Martin spoke. And of course, he touched on a few things today that you might have already heard yesterday, just because he did mention that face-to-face meeting again with Jerry, just kind of throwing it out there. If that sounds familiar, like, hey, I feel like I heard this before.
Deja vu.
Probably said something similar. But outside of that, Zack Martin said, I kept the faith and had a good feeling we'd eventually reach an agreement. I'm happy to be back out here. It's great to see everyone and be back with the guys.
Camaraderie, nothing lost. Love it.
Agreed. So, Zack Martin, like I said, he went into the kind of pièce de résistance, right? He said it all came together when the team came back to Dallas. Jerry and I spent some face-to-face time and hammered this thing out. We reached out. Some of my buddies here in the organization helped get that going, and it was good to get face-to-face time with him.
Again, that made the deal go through, was Jerry Jones being there with him.
So,
and Jason Renfro in the house with that J. Lou $2 holler. We just talked about Jordan Lewis. What did the man say, baby?
He said, wrap Parsons and bubble wrap after an ice bath.
Can't agree with that comment more than I think any comment that I've agreed with this year. That's the number one comment in the world. So agree 100%, Jason. And yes, protect Micah Parsons. So Zack Martin, speaking after the practice.
Yeah, so he said, it was great. My head hurt because I was smiling and laughing so much all day. I don't think I stopped talking from the moment I got here to the moment I went to bed. 3 weeks doesn't seem that long, but when you're sitting in Dallas with 103-degree heat every day, and you're seeing your guys out there having fun at training camp, it seems a little bit longer than that.
Yeah, it probably was. Again, you see what he was doing, right? I mean, he was constantly. We heard about it Sunday nights. I say Sunday he would work out. Monday mornings he'd work out. Basically, 5-6 times I think I said a week. It was nonstop for Zack Martin, keeping in shape.
So he also added in there, I never took anything personal during this whole thing. You got to realize that when you make a decision like that to hold out, you're stepping into their arena, and now you've got to play by their rules. It was a great experience for me, a learning experience, to sit across from a guy like that with all the business savvy that he has. I can't say enough about him and the rest of the Jones family. There were some tough times, but there are no hard feelings. We were able to come to an agreement, and I was looking forward to getting out of here.
Well, Jerry Jones. Everyone loves Jerry Jones. Once you listen, Stephen Jones is the bad cop. He's the one with the hard push, and you know what happens? In the end, they crumble, and Jerry Jones says, "All right, you pushed hard. You kept us in the media for an extra couple of months. now we can make the deal, even if it hurts our team a little bit. At least we're in the media. I don't know what Jerry Jones is thinking. Maybe he's thinking he made some money off of this just by keeping it in the media loop. But now, who knows how many more Zack Martin jerseys are sold? I know I wore mine for the game kicking off this season. Remember, that's the jersey I rep of Zack Martin. This is the reason. So Jerry Jones finally got it done after some bullcrap like negotiation.
Yeah. So Zack Martin also adding in there, it was definitely difficult. If you'd have asked me a few years ago if I'd be a holdout guy, I'd probably say no. But that's what I felt it had to come down to reach some of my goals that I was looking for. And luckily, worked it out with the
Jerry and the Cowboys organization. I think that, and again, as I know Stephen White's going to get upset, but I think that Zack Martin is knowing this is a business, like Zack Martin, like Mike McCarthy said, and you want to make sure you get the generational, I guess you could say, retirement money, whatever you want to call it. He wanted to cash in on that before he missed his chance too, and he has that right too. It's written in your contracts, Stephen White. It's written in your contract. So everybody is allowed to do this, and if you do this, it is not every single player on the field understands and actually wants him to do this, would agree with him doing this, because one day it could be them staying in that situation, and they're going to need a precedent, and this has now been set. But again, it's been set from before this, right? DeMarcus Lawrence, Zeke, many others, they all, played hardball, and Jerry Jones played hardball with them, and eventually Jerry Jones cracked, right? So, bad negotiation skills by the Jones more than anything.
So, but that was pretty much it from Zack Martin, at least.
All right, well, now Mr. Stephen White can calm down. All right, we're taking Zack Martin off the page. All right, so now who spoke? Who else spoke today, baby?
Well, our other guy on the right side of the offensive line, Terrence Steele. Right?
Steele.
He's got to support his guy, Zack Martin, right? So first of all, he said it's awesome to see him back there, as in Zack Martin. That's his home spot. Excited to see him back there. Our chemistry being regained just comes down to steps. Getting all the reps we can and making up for lost time.
Again, very important that Terrence Steele and Zack Martin can connect and get back out there and you get again. I remember those we had a whole show last year, baby, on the duo blocks. You know what I mean? That was really eye opening how good Zack Martin and Terrence Steele were with these double teams and then shedding to the next level. That to me, and you see some of the guys here, Terrence Steele on the right, Tyler Smith there, Tyron Smith on the left of your screen, but on the field, Terrence Steele on the right side with Zack Martin, it was really a beautiful thing to watch. And honestly, guys, when we ran to that side, we were one of the best in the NFL. So I don't know, again, Kellen Moore has some freaky ass running plays, but when we did not take advantage of that right side, we did not do as well running the ball, generally speaking. So hopefully this year, now that we got a healthy Terrence Steele, knock on wood, stays healthy and all that good stuff, and Zack Martin back in the fold, we can go forward on that right side and really see greatness. Possibly a whole right side Pro Bowl, left side Pro Bowl. I don't know. I'm going to stop there. All right. Our center was in the Pro Bowl last year.
Yes. And again, like I said, Terrence Steele is not at all concerned about, connecting with Zack Martin again. He said it. We'll get it done. We've always had a natural connection, so it shouldn't be hard. I'm
telling you, it's going to be great. It's going to be like I said earlier, riding a bike. But it's going to be great for both these guys. The next 3 weeks, especially the next two, after this week, the two next after this, it's going to be great to see them getting ready for week 1 against the Giants in the 2023 season.
So now Terrence Steele obviously had a little bit more to say about Zack Martin coming back. He said, I hugged him forever. He smiled ear to ear. He is the heartbeat of the team. He said as far as regaining that chemistry, it just kind of comes down to reps. But he said that we have a natural connection, so it won't be hard. Well, fingers crossed there. So Terrence Steele, man, so many Tyrants and Terrences out here. Excuse me. But yeah, Terrence Steele said, I feel really strong. It feels like any other camp. So his knee is holding up just fine, and, he's just saying
remember, guys, towards the end of the year last year, he tore the ACL and MCL. That it looks like he's fully good to go, and I feel like I didn't know if he's going to be ready for week 1. Isn't it a great feeling to know that he's it looks like he's going to go for week 1. I feel good about this.
So, but yeah, basically Terrence Steele said, I feel like I never got hurt in the first place. Which is honestly pretty freaking remarkable.
Those are the best words of the day. Damn. Sorry, Jason. You just got trumped. You just got trumped by Terrence Steele right there. Anyways, baby, go ahead. Anybody else speak, or that was it?
No. Seam Richards also spoke.
Oh, Seam Richards, one of the rookies. And again, I want to put up the rookie list here. I think I have the rookies on here somewhere. Let me see. Give me a second, baby. I just wanted to make sure.
No, you're all good. So let me actually take a second here to remind everybody to take a second to hit like,
yes,
subscribe, hit that notification bell. You guys can follow us all at MyCowboysFamily on all social media. Hop in the Discord. The link for that's in the description box down below.
Yeah. Yes. And there you go. I'll show you this. I'll put this up there. I see Richards. You can see him picked 169th. He's an offensive tackle mainly in North Carolina, but he played some guard as well, and knowing that he's going to be coming to Dallas, probably edging in there at guard. But again, remember, the Cowboys can... Listen, I want to remind everybody something. I always say, well, he's a guard. He's got to be a guard. Listen, he can be a tackle too, because Tyler Smith moves inside or stays inside, then we need a tackle then, if that's the best move. If Asim Richards is a better tackle than he is a guard, then let's see him at tackle and perfect that, because then we can leave Tyler Smith at guard, assuming Tyron Smith's the one that goes out, right? But that's the good thing about it. He can play both spots because we have a choice now. It's a little more versatile. We have a choice on that. So you can find a guy who's good enough at, let's say he's decent at tackle and shitty at guard. That's an issue. If you have a guy that's better at, guard and shitty at tackle, you have that ability to kind of lean on that. So TJ Bass, I know, went a little bit in practice today. So he's an undrafted guy. I would very much hold my breath that he's the backup, because I think we were in trouble at that point. But This is what I'm saying. We don't have really much depth at that point. One of these guys got to hit. So hopefully Asim Richards, our 5th round pick, can give us a little more clarity. I know he's been one of the standouts in this Jacksonville game. We talked about that live on the stream last night. He allowed 2 pressures, and he played pretty much the whole game. So great, against some starters too in Jacksonville, that 6th ranked defense, I think. So Asim Richards, what did he say today, baby, after practice?
He said, I didn't really know I was going to play tackle until a couple days before. Chuma went down, and I picked it up for him. It felt really natural at both spots, and I'm really glad that I've had the time to develop my guard skills. My college experience really helped me be fine at tackle during the game.
So you guys, I didn't even know that he said that, baby. That's what's crazy. That literally
that's what I said.
Is what I said.
It's hey, you stole the words right out of his mouth.
No, I mean, I never heard this, but I do say, I do say though that I mean, it is great to hear that. I feel a little more, I feel a little happier that he can do this. If he's able to play, feel comfortable and natural at both spots, then it's going to give us if he's the guy leading the pack, then it gives us an option. The coaches have to decide what is best. Asim Richards as a left tackle and Tyler Smith at left guard, or Tyler Smith at left tackle and Asim Richards at left guard. So it's a little more versatility is the point,
and he added in there some specific things that he knows he wants to keep working on. He said, I feel like I know how to get my hands up quicker. Everything happens really quick inside. It's not like the outside where there's more space. They're on you quick. They're bigger guys, and you just got to get your hands up, and that's what I'm learning. I'm still improving on that.
So you got to remember, here's the thing, though. So it sounds to me he's more comfortable at tackle. Because inside he sounds like he's a little. He has to get his hands quicker.
Needs a little bit, yeah.
Because there's less time to move, right? Outside you have more time to move. So I don't know if he's better inside or outside, but he's obviously more comfortable outside as a tackle than inside as a guard. So to me, Chuma Edoga, I'm keeping my eyes on number 76. See what he can bring to the table here for the Dallas Cowboys in this next preseason game and these other practices as well. Tomorrow's the last padded practice, so very in Oxnard. Let me clear that up, and then they go to Seattle. Warm up there for one, I think they have a practice or walkthrough there, and then the game, fly back to Dallas to the Star and Frisco, and have 3 more open practices of training camp, and then it's over. And then it's cut down day. So anyways, the point is, how do you feel about Asim Rich? I don't know if you have anything more about him.
No, that was it from him, but honestly, just really happy, really positive trends overall. Again, it's not like every single guy on the O-line is completely hopeless when it comes to some of our depth. It's just that they still just leave a lot to be desired when you're looking at it from a bigger picture perspective.
To me, it's very much just the fact that they're improving. Very unproven. I mean, and Chumadoga is probably the least, like the most proven. But when you have so many rookies out there or undrafted like TJ Bass, a 5th rounder,
you're
like Austin Richard,
a lot of risk there.
You have Farniak, who is a former 7th rounder, right? Who hasn't really showed much. It makes you kind of say, Now, well, let's go. Can he be the tackle that comes in there? I don't know how he's going to play at guard. They were playing around with that. He's not playing guard too often. So I think he's the tackle, but is he good? Is he the guy that's going to be? Is he better than Austin Richard yet? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's a question mark that we need to get answered because we really have no backup since on the offensive line in that depth spot. So that's everyone that spoke today, baby. I'll get this off my face. There it goes.
There it is.
And I will shout out a couple of people that dropped the love from above tonight. Dwayne Broussard in the thanks and pre-stream. Jason Renfro dropping the love throughout. Again, he's been dropping. He's trying to catch up with Skeptical Fan in the gifting membership side of things. Much love to Jason Renfro. He dropped in the Cash App as well. And Brandon James Shea also up on that board multiple times. Appreciate you. Jason Renfro with 43 points on the stream boss right there. And he's also the gifting membership champion back-to-back. Like I said, though, Skeptical Fan is in his way right now. 7-1. Never saw a football score like that. But right now, that's where it's at. And, of course, the king of the Cash App and also the sponsor of the week, baby. You know who he is. You know why he's here.
Snug X.
You know why. Much love to Snug X. Appreciate you, man. And always rip that star for everything. He knows it. So on that note, guys, I think that's everything. Just go through some of those shout-outs and the comments. We'll do the shout-out comment ending. And
Tornado, first of all, happy birthday earlier.
Yes, happy birthday, Tornado.
It's not officially your birthday anymore, but it
yes,
was.
belated verbally, but we saw you there. We wish you a happy birthday
Rolando Rodriguez
in the Discord.
Much love. Saying, is Fajoko the rookie still hurt?
He had a strained shoulder, but I did see him on the field practicing. I don't think he was doing the team drills, though. So I still think they're holding him out. I still think they're holding him out.
So Skeptical Fan said, I'm happy we got Martin back and we signed a few players as well.
Yeah, I mean, you know me. I mean, I'm major move. Zack Martin back now is exactly when he needed to be back at the very latest. So we got him in time.
Let me see. Asmodeus, of course, much love. We have Party with the Stars. Stephen White. Cactus G. I'm just trying to make sure I don't miss anybody. Jumps and Cowboys. Coach Rolando Rodriguez. Haley 94 Ware. Edward. Mari Roberts. Jumps and Cowboys. Well, it's as far back as I can go. So let me come back down here. So how many can we stash on the injury reserve, said Cactus G?
I think you could stash a couple. I mean, I
like
don't
3 or 4?
I don't know if is there a major limit. I'm not sure if there's a limit necessarily if you actually have guys that are injured, but as far as starting off the year in the PUP and those first 6 weeks out, I think you could put 2 on there, on that list. But I think as far as IR, out for the year, you can put as many as you have to, If they're out for the year. If you're out on the PUP list and you miss the first 6 weeks, I think it's 2. Maybe 3. I'm not 100% sure. We'll figure that out as we get closer to the cut-down day, for sure. Oh, I just saw it pop up on my screen here, baby. But Skeptical Fan with that dollar holler. Something else that we might have forgotten to mention. But Skeptical Fan is the current leader on the overall board right now. Yes.
Thank you, Skeptical.
Yes, much love to him. Like I said, El Fuego is right now the Cash App leader in there. So much love to El Fuego. Let me pop him up here. I kind of stopped there for a minute. El Fuego is in the lead. And as you can see right above El Fuego right now, this moment, number 1, first place, Skeptical Fan on the overall board and the gifting board. Appreciate him as always. Go Cowboys. Always stay skeptical. So we'll see maybe some new leaders next week. Jason Renfro still holding down that with 42 points, holding down the stream boss. That's a Deuce Vaughn, in case you didn't know. And baby, anyone else in there before you say goodnight?
Xavier Hidalgo, hello and hi. Have a great night. But
yes.
As far as anybody new, no, we already shouted everybody out. So guys, one last time, hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us everywhere in My Cowboys Family. Hop in the Discord, links down below. But baby,
oh baby, you know why we do this, but I want to hear it from you. Why do we do this each and every night here? This was an hour stream tonight, so you guys got it all compact and quick and in there. So appreciate everybody taking part in the discussion, conversation, the drops of love. But baby, why do we do this here on the nightly here at My Cowboys Family? Oh, well, hold on a second, because Jason Renfro said, let me just drop a little trickle, 4 quarters, $1 holler here. Jason Renfro in the house. What did he say, baby?
Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys. And he's
Always.
getting closer. I know Mark's in second place, but Jason's getting closer. up the board. So we'll be fixing that, of course, for tomorrow, getting that all ready. Much love, Jason. Right now, also up on the Cash App board, up on the gifting membership. He's all over. He's all over the place. He's around. He's trickling around on day 2 of the week. So yes, baby, why do we do this here each and every night on My Cowboys Family?
It's that navy blue, that silver too, and that star over everything.
Win, lose, or draw, good, bad, or ugly. You know why? What we do here, it's that star over everything, no matter what. That star over players, coaches, owners, whoever. Legends. The star over everything. Never forget, guys, here, 6 years plus on My Cowboys Family on YouTube. Number one thing here, now, and forever. As always, say it with us. Go Cowboys! Let's get that 6 and beyond. I want that 6. Don't you? Let's get this, Cowboys. Let's get this. Now, everybody in the chat, thank you for making this, once again, as it always is, a special stream, live stream chat, live with you guys and breaking down the news of the day. Drop them if you got them. If you know what that means drop those emojis if you're in that navy blue silver star or over everything levels of the membership. Much love to those that dropped the love from above tonight. Appreciate you guys as well. And before we can drop out and clock out officially for the night, relock and reload for another live stream tomorrow. And of course, the final Oxnard padded training camp practice. So make sure you check back here for all the videos tomorrow. Once again, trickling out throughout the day. And then tonight, tomorrow night, it will be one of these again, a wrap up. And if for some reason we can't make it, it will be a Thursday wrap up. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Either way, notifications on. Hit the like, subscribe, and, baby, before we can officially drop out of here for the night, tell them what we got to do before we drop out of here.
We got to drop the beat.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The beat's been dropped, guys. Thank you once again here. We do want that 6 and beyond. But now we got to say goodnight and beyond as we wrap it up here. Appreciate everybody here for another nightly Cowboys chat. This one was a training camp day 11 discussion. As I said, Zack Martin, I was really shocked he was back in pads doing some kind of drills out there. Literally day 1 back in Oxnard. Of course, we talked about Micah Parsons, injury. He was kicked. He's fine. Just keep him on the bench. How about that? Can you do that for me there, coaches? Eric Scott Jr. over there, number 37, 6th-round pick. He got burned on this play by Will Greer and the great catch and keeping the feet in bounds by Jalen Tolbert, number 18, who to me, I didn't talk about it enough, to me, making a run at that number 4 spot. He's clearing the distance there in that 4th receiving spot. So good job by him. And all the rest of the guys we discussed, good, bad, and ugly, is another day to prove it differently tomorrow. Here at MCF, it's about that navy blue. That's silver too. That's star over everything. Never forget the number one thing right here, My Cowboys Family. Much love to everyone. We'll see you back tomorrow for another one. Have a good night, guys. Stay safe. Peace out. And never, ever forget. Go Cowboys!